What's going on YouTube? Today we're doing a mid-skin fade with the top styled straight back. For this video I'm also showing you a length conversion for Wahl and Andis. The fast feeds will also work for the Andis conversion as well. So starting out, I'm just removing the bulk around the sides using a 6 guard. Honestly, you can use a smaller guard like a 3. Just be careful not to cut too much into the top or you risk altering the shape of the cut.
Whoa! Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believed me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball, I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic gotta say, I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life, I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back, you ain't fitting for it cause you all cap like. Hold up, I shoot my shot, wait, hold up. I'm really about to run this go up. You know it's all net when it go up. Ain't got no other plans, you don't need to understand, ayy. We on overtime, you don't need to understand, ayy. You just show them how to do it when you don't know what to say. Tell me how you plan to win if you plan to play it.
Moving fast, already gone, yeah, but you bringing me back. Try to double cross me, dog, just let me relax. Stop assuming what we doing.
Now that we've removed the bulk, I'll go in with my lever open. If you're using a wall clipper, a 1 guard open is very close in length. This transition line is ultimately where the bald line will be. I'm taking it down to a 1 first, so the transition is not as drastic and allows me to set cleaner transition lines.
Please don't play no games with me, I promise I'm too much, ayy. I can never let up even if you had enough, ayy. This ain't for the faint of heart, we always playing rough. I had enough, it ain't luck. I needed a vision, I needed ambition, I needed a mission to beat a submission with no intermission. I see the collision, the crash in the distance ain't coming off track, no. Now when they ask what's the motive, don't talk, I just show them. They all about to see what I mean in the moment. I gotta keep going, I'm shaking the dice and I'm keeping it rolling, they already know. Ain't got no other plans, you don't need to understand, ayy. We on overtime, you don't need to understand, ayy. You just show them how to do it when you don't know what to say. Tell me how you plan to win if you plan to play it safe.
Moving fast, already gone, yeah, but you bringing me back. Try to double cross.
After I've set the midline with my 1, I'll go in with my 2 guard closed. For Wahl, you can use a 2 open or a 3 closed. Here I'm bringing the fade up about 1.5 inches. Clearing this section first will help when setting the bald line so that there's no hair hanging over my transition point. Since I'm at the ridgeline, I'll go ahead and knock back some of the hair hanging over the sides using clipper over comb. We will be blending the top into the side, so it's easier to take some length now than to try to cut it back later.
Yeah, feel like John Moran. Need a triple double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now
Here I'm going in and setting my bald line at the midway point. You can see the line I already set was pretty clean. That's not always the case, especially when you're a new barber. It's harder to determine where to stop when the hair is as long on the sides as it was. This is a good opportunity to set a clean transition line if your first line wasn't clean. It's not a big deal, just be sure not to cut above the midway point. Everything above this is blended anyway. If you're an experienced barber, you could have gone in and just balded the fade out from the start, but if you are a new barber, taking the hair down in steps is a great way to make sure you can recover from any mistakes.
Feel like John Moran, need a triple double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Moran, need a triple double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Yeah, they don't want it done like I want it, dog. Yeah, they say they want it, then they took the summer off. I've been going down the list, checking numbers off. I was checking on your numbers, told them something's off. I was at the bottom, now you know I'm climbing. Now they sending deals, they know I ain't signing. They've been trying to.
Now that we set a clean bald line, I can go back to my lever open. For Wahl, you can use a 1 open or even halfway. Here I'm going up 1 inch. This is why I set the original midline with a 1. Had we accidentally taken the line too high, our bald line would have fallen below this point, which would have allowed us to recover from any mistakes.
Told them check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drive the ball, nah, I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell.
Now that we have our transition line set, I'm going right in with my detail clippers and spreading the fade, starting with my lever closed and working it open. If you're using fast feeds or masters, we would be working our lever up to 3/4 of the way open. For fine hair, I don't have to spend excessive time blending this middle section. All I'm doing is working my way up 1/3 of an inch for every lever change. I do fade this sort of quick, but I'm basically working from the bottom up, close to open, and working in this middle section until it's blended evenly.
Dollars and I can't go back. Got a lot of jewelry on me, man, can't hold that. 12 ask me better, tell him that I ain't so crack. Know your money long when your people can't afford that. I'm ballin', yeah. My mama told me that I did my calling. I keep that stick, I don't do no brawling. Up and out the doors and let them all in here. Yeah, they all in here. We big dog. We come out the pants, so we big dog. Heavy patty got me break my wrist off. I'm young out of rocket, about to lead dog. 3, 2, 1, I got big dog status, now I'm a big dog, bitch. I pull up on the block, yeah, the big Corvette, yeah. Riding around the city with a stick all black. Don't try with a spoken, we ain't with all that, yeah. Big dog status, now I'm a big dog, bitch. I pull up on the block, yeah, the big Corvette, yeah. Riding around the city with a stick all black. Don't try with a spoken, we ain't with all that, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Once the middle section is blended, I'll start to work my way up. Here I have my lever open and I'm using a scooping motion. I know the section I'm working into is a 2. Using a scooping motion with my masters is closer to a 1.5, so this will soften the transition line and make fading easier. If you're using wall clippers, a 1 guard open will help soften this point. For fast feeds, a 0 guard open. The reason I like using Andis so much here is because it's better for freehanding a blend using a scooping motion. I wouldn't use my fast feeds or wall clippers this way. The teeth of the blade are different and you won't get the same results. So for those clippers, I would just use a flicking or fading motion.
You can't hold me back, you can't hold me down. Put me in the game, gotta get it right now. You can't hold me back, you can't hold me down. Put me in the game, gotta get it right now. Whoa, on me, you know what I want and only. All them other ones is phony, moving like a drum, I'm on beat. Whoa, yeah, you could put the pressure on me. I ain't never getting cold feet, straight to where I'm gon' be. I got no time to debate, I put my reps in like every day. I keep it moving, I don't like the way. I just keep adding these wins to the plate. I ain't worried about a setback, with a loss I'ma get back. Going up on a jetpack.
Onto the back, as you can see by now, I like to use my wall clippers for tighter areas. They're more closely zeroed out and blend perfectly into my master's 3/4 of the way open. It's a little unconventional, but the key is knowing your clippers and the difference in their length. I've used wall seniors and fast feeds. It's pretty much the same length difference for those clippers as well. I have a pair of fast feeds which I love, but the masters are it for me because they are much more powerful. And if you're doing a lot of haircuts, you're gonna need a workhorse clipper to get the job done. I'll do a video on the fast feed soon for you guys. Still a great clipper to have, but they're definitely limited.
Can't hold me down. Put me in the game, gotta get it right now. You can't hold me back, you can't hold me down. Put me in the game, gotta get it right now. You can't hold me back. You can't hold me back. Put me in the game, gotta get it right now. You can't hold me back.
Where's Da Vinci?
Yeah, they just wanna see me in the grave. Come out the law in the rave. Oh no, I can't wait. You can read what you sow in the day. I was down, now I'm up to the plate. Got a couple hits, cause you know I can't play. We gon' win it no matter what the shape. Got the stick, we gon' bring it out the safe. I was down below the commas. I put dollars on my head like I don't wanna. Yeah, I'm proud of what I did, I'm gonna come up.
Once I start fading the top section and the back, I'll use my 0 open. For Wahl, a 1 guard open is fine. The back of the head on this haircut is slightly different than the sides because we're styling the top back. We want to make sure we don't take the back too tight. It's really important for the shape of the haircut, as the backside really supports the overall cut. So here I'm softening the back with a 1.5, and I'll go in with no guard using a scooping motion to erase the transition line in just a moment.
I was down, now I'm up to the plate. Got a couple hits, cause you know I can't play. We gon' win it no matter what the shape. Got the stick, we gon' bring it out the safe.
It's silver stubby, I was just inside of gray. When I resurrected in like 3 whole days. Shut up on my car, I had a sneaker. Ayy, so I took a tenant because we the way. Walk around the house, got drip on anyway. They gon' eat it up like it's a dinner date. Seen a Lambo, claimed it on the interstate.
Now using my master's lever open, for a Wahl, a 1 halfway will work. And we're just continuing to spread the fade. I will touch up the back right at the end after I've cut the top. Again, that's just about being cautious so that I don't change the overall shape of the cut.
Wanna see me in the grave. Come out the law in the rave. Oh no, I can't wait. You can read what you sow in the day. I was down, now I'm up to the plate. Got a couple hits, cause you know I can't play. We gon' win it no matter what the shape. Got the stick, we gon' bring it in. I'm back like I never left. They just treating every song like another check. I'm pulling up to every court and I'm calling next. They try to end me, now I'm stopping my foot on their neck. You'll be surprised what they do for attention. God looks into your heart and intentions. I see you judging in all of my mentions. I'm out the grave, I thank God for redemption. Now I'm taking it a step at a time. My future is bright like I turned on the lights. It's crazy how I see them right through the blind. I used to explain how I'm catching these flights. Don't hit my DMs with arrogance. I gotta do it with excellence. I'm reaching the needy, it's evident. And they still in the room with the elephant. Wow. Yeah, they just wanna see me in the grave. Come out the law in the rave. Oh no, I can't wait. You can read what you sow in the day. I was down, now I'm up to the plate. Got a couple hits, cause you know I can't play. We gon' win it no matter what the shape. Got the stick, we gon' bring it out the safe.
Now that I've saturated the hair in preparation to cut the top, I can see the ridgeline better. So before I go into the top, I'll just use a 1 open. For Wahl, a 2 open or halfway is fine. And I'm bringing the clippers straight off the ridge, being careful not to cut into the top.
Fast life, the fast living. They see the ambition, they know I'm past driven. Look, we are not the same, this is not a game. I be swerving through the city in and out of lanes. Yeah, cause if I see it, then I want it, then you better know I got it. Ain't no options, I'm about to do.
On the top, we are removing about 2 inches total. Here, I'm going to start by taking about 1.5 inches. For straight back hairstyles, I like to cut standing to the side first. As you can see, the rows are running front to back, so it just makes sense to me to start removing length from front to back. I also like to make sure I'm taking even sections, and for faster results, you can take the sections wider. That's just how I do it, not everyone does it the same way. I also like to cut the right side down first. This will help set the length guide for the rest of the top. And while I'm working on the right side, I'll start to blend the ridge line by cutting diagonal, making sure I'm cutting it to the right length so that it all flows back and doesn't hang over the side.
6 speed, yeah, I'm smashing on the gas. It's a fast life.
I'm about to ride it till the wheels fall off. Yeah, I'm about to run the game, I ain't never dropping off. Unless we talking about a bag, put a duffel on the dash. She don't really about to swat. Heavy foot up on the gas with it. Trunk tracks with the cash in it. Passionate, long range when I'm passing it.
Now that I've gotten rid of some length and I'm making my way towards the middle, I'll part it and start to cut the middle. Again, we want the hair to flow backwards, so it has to be cut to the proper length. You don't have to be crazy precise here. If you want to take small sections, layer it, learn how to use thinning blades, be my guest. But another way to make sure it's all even and has good flow is to cross cut the hair. I'll obviously be doing it my way. The hair will still have awesome flow without having to charge for unnecessary steps.
You ain't by that fast life, big dog status, what your stats like. You ain't by that fast life, just know 100 duffels at the bag price. You ain't by that fast life, 6 speed, yeah, I'm smashing on the gas. It's a fast life. It's a fast life. Keeping it moving, don't switch up my code. Life full of circles, we out the A4. It's a fast life.
You are clearly an AP two-tone.
Yeah, they tryna at me, I'm running the race. I gotta pick up the pace. They throwing shade, but I'm gone. You gotta keep it a buck to my face. Taking that gang out of space. It's best if you stay in your place. They hating on all of my songs. I don't know what can I say. They throwing shots, but I'm saved by His grace. God is to shoot, I'm the lace. Running around got me stoned, man. Feels like I'm stuck in the maze. Shoot at the Oculus case. They sippin' only 96. I can't do it on my own, yeah. They judging me off my mistakes. This flow is so heavenly. Most of my friends and frenemies. They tryna bring out the beast. I'm batting 1,000, my game is elite. I'm running around in the streets. They tryna catch up, but they still can't compete. I thought they got in my sleep. He told me keep going, cause you got the lead. Count it up, all the brodies came through, then we added up. They was asking me questions, I had it up. I've been running with God, I just leveled up. They won't speak to my face, got that antidote. They been putting me on like I'm one of those. I can see why they hate, that just ain't me. Tell me a place that I can't go. I don't think they get it, they don't understand. I'ma do it for my homies and my fans. They don't see the vision, they just see the band. Eyes on the money like a rubber band. That is number one, I follow his command. You can try it, you won't get a chance. I'ma keep on going till I can. And I buy them by his.
Here's one way I cross-check the hair. Combing the hair from side to side will reveal anything uneven, and you can trim the sections using shear over comb.
Gang out of space. It's best if you stay in your place. They hating on all of my songs. I don't know what can I say. They throwing shots, but I'm saved by His grace. God is to shoot, I'm the lace. Running around got me stoned, man. Feels like I'm stuck in the maze. Shoot at the Oculus case. They sippin' only 96. I can't do it on my own, yeah. They judging me off my mistakes.
Silver step into the play, you bet I'ma hit it. What I'm doing in this game, I did in a scrimmage. Rappers wanting all this beef and burning up bridges. Deep down they dealing with pain, they just wanna admit it. Won't stop till I get it. Speed it up when I'm winning. It's silver and undefined, period, no sentence. They tryna give me the fitting. I'ma say Jesus and risk it. Treasure in heaven, generation with them, I pass the baton on my kids. Had to make sacrifices for this. I can fake, had to cut out some friends. Vision late ever since the beginning. Go get the bad, then bring it in. Every L was a lesson you did. Out the nest, had to handle the biz. How about the whatchamacallit, and it's chilling right over the fridge.
They tryna at me, I'm running the race. I gotta pick up the pace. They throwing shade, but I'm gone. You gotta keep it a buck to my face. Taking that gang out of space. It's best if you stay in your place.
Cross-checking the front, you can see the hair is getting longer from front to back. Combing against the grain and trimming the hair evenly is an easy way to make sure the hair falls to the right length and is even on all sides.
They sippin' only 96. I can do it on my own, yeah. They judging me off my mistakes.
It's heavy. God's timing is perfect. Patience has a purpose. Waiting for it's worth it. God's timing is perfect. Patience has a purpose. Waiting for it's worth it. Right on time when we late to the party. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Right on time when we late to the party. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Right on time when we late to the party animals. Leaps of faith, Geronimo. Check my watch, tick, tick, tock. My God lives outside of those. Please do not limit me. My worth infinity and beyond. This is our buzz like yeah, right here. Don't tour it off story, oh no, Whoa, let me breathe. God too cold, stay on freeze. Couldn't buy me with 100 G's. I'm priceless, but he paid the fee. Money can't make that purchase. Patience has a purpose. We just scratching the surface. The wait's gonna be worth it, cause God's timing is perfect. Patience has a purpose. Waiting for it's worth it. God's timing is perfect. Patience has a purpose. Waiting for it's worth it. Right on time when we late to the party. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Right on time when we late to the party. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Right on time when we late to the party. Yeah, yeah. Patience has a purpose. Yeah, yeah. Waiting for it's worth it. Right on time when we late to the party. Yeah, yeah. Patience has a purpose. Yeah, yeah. Waiting for it's worth it. Right on time when we late to the. Show up late to the fiesta. God's time is so much better. Blow hotter than some peppers. This beat got me feeling extra. Two-step, no drink. Don't care what you think. Been high, no dang. God's love in my tank. We are not following trends, just following him. Swallowing pride, take off offense. Guarding my heart with my tumble defense. Y'all think we whack, not hardly. Jokes on you, no hardly. You think we tardy, truth is we right on time when we late to the party. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Right on time when we late to the party. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Right on time when we late to the party. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Right on time when we late.
After we've cut the top, I'll go through and make sure the ridge line is as blended as possible and there's nothing hanging over the sides. For faster results, I'll use clipper over comb and make sure the hair runs even with the ridge line. This will help pull the cut together and give a nice overall shape to the haircut.
The bar raising, we keep moving it up. Ain't no surprises here, they knew it was us. Apologies if I was doing too much, but I always came through in the clutch. I got faith restored, why you pushing the brakes? I ain't full of myself, boy, I'm full of mistakes. I came from humble and roots, I'm here to stand and deliver. Had no one gassing me up, except the man in the mirror. I used to work on my handles, and now it's handles of liquor. I write these songs in a dark room, the candle will flicker. I stay practicing heavy, for when the game's on the line. It's like over and over, I run the plays in my mind. I'm a psycho, I'm taking my time. Rushing perfection is a dangerous crime. You gotta give it and take it. That's what you do till you make it. I had to roll with the punches.
On the straight razor part of the cut, I'll go around the sides no more than 1 inch or 1.5 inches above the ear, lightly shaving the top and balding out the bottom. For this style of haircut, I like to keep the razor on the lower side. This way the haircut stays balanced throughout.
Touch. And no excuses, I ain't using a crutch. Apologies if I was doing too much, but I always came through in the clutch. I was falling, had me stalling. I was way down, now I'm balling. I done came up and I called it. I done came in the clutch with the game on the line. I know I operate from a higher place. Wait, some decisions don't dry erase. I'm doing what I can to fuel the flame like a fireplace. To make a bunch of money, buy my mama a fireplace. We make incredible songs to celebrate and get mad lit. Once upon a time in Hollywood, I'm like Brad Pitt. My homies say I live a life, yeah, just a tad bit. Learning how to move in this rap shit. I told them that the bar raising, we keep moving it up. And no surprises here, they knew it was us. Apologies if I was doing too much, but I always came through in the clutch. An off game don't mean I'm losing my touch. And no excuses, I ain't using a crutch.
lines left from the razor, just lightly go over them with your T-blade or a super shaver if you have one. This cut didn't have any lines, but I like to go over the area quick anyway, just to spread the fade and double check my work.
I don't think they running now.
Now taking a look at the final cut. This is a customer of mine who's been coming to me for a long time. He's been a friend for just as long. It's the first time I've cut him in over a year. I had to take a leave from the shop after some family tragedies, but it's always awesome when longtime customers return, and even better when we can hit cuts like this. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did and would like to support the channel, all you have to do is hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm working on some new content to make the channel more efficient, so look out for that in the near future. To all the people that are on summer right now, I hope you are enjoying as much as possible. Thank you again. Catch you soon.